is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are South.
An all-star with Atlanta last year, Shelby Miller returns to Turner Field looking to get back on track against his former team. Julio Teheran is Atlanta's current ace. He's been dominant over his last two starts, and he'll lead the Braves against the Diamondbacks now. Two principals in a blockbuster deal square off tonight in Atlanta. Former Brave Shelby Miller is now an Arizona Diamondback. And the man for whom he was traded, Ender Inciarte, is back in the lineup for Atlanta in Game 2 of our series here at Turner Field. Hi again, friends, with Joe Simpson and Tom Glavine, Chip Carey. Hopefully the Braves can get back into the win column against Arizona. They're facing Shelby Miller, Tom, a man who's really off to a struggling start in the desert.
Yeah, it's a little bit perplexing to say the least, but no, he's not gotten off to a good start at all. 0-3 at the start of the year with an 8.4 ERA. You see his splits between the start of this year and his season last year in Atlanta. That 6-17 record with a 3.02 ERA was a real good year and was the reason why the Braves were able to get so much from the Arizona Diamondbacks for him in that trade, but certainly gotten off to a slow start looking for his first win tonight. And Joe, the Braves guy's looking for his first win too, but he's pitched a whole lot better lately.
Yeah, Julio Teheran should have had a win his last time out against the Cubs. And he has pitched real well in his last 3 starts, particularly his last 2 have been outstanding. His last 14 innings, he's given up only 1 earned run, and he's cut down on his walks, bumped up his strikeouts. He's had his outstanding slider again and a terrific changeup. I think this is going to be a terrific matchup tonight. I don't buy for a minute that Shelby Miller is going to pitch like the guy that's got the 8+ ERA. I expect him to be lights out tonight.
And with Ender Inciarte back for the Braves, Atlanta's offense and more importantly its defense ought to be improved in Game 2. Inciarte is back. Paul Bird will talk with the Atlanta outfielder when we come back to Turner Field and get you set for Game 2 here in Atlanta tonight.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back, Braves fans. We got game 2 of the series coming up. You heard about that great pitching matchup coming up, Shelby Miller, Julio Teheran. My favorite stockbrokers are the ones that tell you to buy low and sell high. That is exactly what the Braves front office did this offseason, with my favorite trade being Shelby Miller. And yeah, I like Shelby Miller, an incredible pitcher. 3.02 ERA, all-star last year, loved his fire, loved talking about him. But when the opportunity comes up to get a 3-for-1, you got to take that. Dansby Swanson, guy on the end, first-round pick, the very first pick. Welcome back to Georgia, Marietta Neva, and then Aaron Blair, a guy that many scouts said they would just make the trade for Miller straight up for him. He's off to a good start. And how about Ender Inciarte, our center fielder who's now playing in left, coming back from that injury. He's back tonight. A Gold Glover had a chance to catch up with him earlier, who said he's excited about facing his former team.
It's not a lie that when you face your former team, you got an extra energy or whatever. So I'm really excited to face them. I'm gonna compete and hopefully still hits. I mean, they're my friends, but I gotta do my part of the job, right? I'm happy to be back right now. Hopefully I'm gonna get things going, help the team to win, and because I know the fans and we as a team, we care about winning.
And I think he'll run a few down. We got Julio Teheran taking the field coming up next.
Well, just in case AJ can't stick around for all night, looks like Tyler Flowers is ready for game 2. And Julio Teheran's got the ball. He's ready to go. And Tommy, as Joe said, Julio's been terrific his last 2 times out.
Yeah, he's been great his last couple times out, looking for that first win on the year. And hopefully the Cardinals are just what he needs. 3-1 with a 2.17 ERA in his career. Bunch of strikeouts. So hopefully that success against the Arizona Diamondbacks will continue tonight.
His 4 keys to pitching success tonight are really an echo of what he's been doing. Just continue to do these things, and that is stay aggressive. He's been pounding the strike zone to both sides of the plate. He has cut down on the home runs. He's cut down on the walks, and because of that, he has had a lot of success. He's the old Julio the last 2 starts.
And he will face an Arizona lineup that snapped a 6-game losing streak here last night. Gene Segura has been a great find for them. He's their leadoff man. And at second base, Paul Goldschmidt has been very tentative at times at the plate. Just 16 hits in his last 20 games. with Peralta, Castillo, and Brandon Drury also in the middle of the order. Atlanta's defense, a different look. Ender Inciarte is back from his hamstring injury. He'll be in left field. MALLEX, Smith in center with Nick Markakis in right. AYBAR and Castro, the double play combo up the middle. REID BRIGNAC at third, Freddie at first, PIERZYNSKI behind the plate. And fellows, with INCIARTE joining the ball club, that means someone had to go. It was Adonis Garcia who was sent to AAA.
He'll get down there and be able to play in left field every day and get some work in and get more comfortable playing left field.
So Julio's ready. The Braves in their home green uniforms. And how about that? A 78-degree breezy night.
Loving it.
SEGURA was 1 for 4 last night. Problem had him sidelined for a couple of games on the road trip for Arizona, but he looked free and loose on the base paths last night and at second base as well. SEGURA with a .342 average. And a pop fly foul out of play. That's still a 1-2 count. Trout all the way over on the first base side of the rubber. Sports a 3-1 record lifetime against the Diamondbacks in 5 starts. And averages almost a strikeout per inning pitched.
His last outing against the Cubs, he really got robbed of a win. He left after 7 innings, leading 3-0. Walked 1, struck out 9, and then the bullpen gave up 3 runs in the 8th and 9th inning to tie it and took the win away. The Braves won it in the 10th.
Yeah, he's more so than anybody in baseball really been snake bit by that. That was the 9th time since the beginning of last season that he's left with a lead and didn't get a win. That's the highest in Major League Baseball.
9. That's a lot.
That is a lot. And after a while, it kind of gets hard with the attaboys that you get after your game and you're not getting any results for it.
I was going to say, there are no moral victories on the back of the bubblegum card, are there?
No, no.
Full count pitch. And SEGURA slaps that towards center. MALLEX Smith in the dappled sunshine is there to make the play. And there's the first out here in the Arizona first. Here's Jake Lamb, the Arizona third baseman. He was 0 for 4 last night, 3 homers and 11 RBIs in total for the year.
And as much as you want as a pitcher to keep the ball on the ground and keep your infielders active, you got to feel pretty good right now turning around and seeing those 3 guys in the outfield behind you.
No kidding.
There's some guys going to go get some balls.
And a strike for Lamb. Shelby Miller getting ready for the bottom of the first. Was that pine tar he was putting on the back of his shoe?
You know what he's doing? He's putting stickum on the back of his shoes so his pants will stay stuck to him and not ride up.
Okay.
It's a fashion statement.
Whatever happened to the scrunchy things at the bottom of the pants that would keep your...
I think they've been taken away.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. And Lamb lifts one toward left. INCIARTE on the run. That's over his head, and one hops the wall. Ender picks it up on a big hop. The throw back in towards second. And Jake Lamb has another extra base hit. 9 of his last 13 hits have gone for 2 or more bases. And he's aboard with 1 out.
Again, not a bad pitch. Good piece of hitting and barely stayed in the yard.
Yeah, he has definitely found his extra base stroke, and that was a pretty swing. Like you said, a pretty good pitch, but he stayed down there and went with it and drove that ball the opposite way.
So the Arizona papers guys were talking about Paul Goldschmidt today, and they talked about how, at least Chip Hale thought, at times he was a little too passive at the plate. He swung at the first pitch he saw last night and made an out. He took a strike here. As I said, 16 hits in his last 20 games, but 24 walks for Paul Goldschmidt in that stretch.
Well, it's a fine line, right? You want your you probably don't want your middle of the lineup guy who's walking that much, but you don't want him expanding the strike zone.
You know what? Can't have it both ways. Nobody complained about his walks when he was hitting 300 and hitting 30 homers. Everybody thought that was great. He was selective. Now all of a sudden his average isn't where it's supposed to be, and they don't want him to walk as much.
He's too passive.
Yeah, I don't get that. He's just not getting any hits.
Yeah, he's too good a hitter to go through a 20-game stretch with only 16 hits. For this Arizona club, Goldschmidt for the year batting .233. RBI chance for him here in the first. Arizona has been struggling with men in scoring position this entire road trip. And that's way high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I guarantee you there are 29 other teams that say, why don't you come be selective for us?
Yeah, we'll take it. But no, look, he's the guy too that every opposing pitcher is saying, all right, I'm not going to let him beat me. So he's seeing everybody's best. He's seeing everybody's 0-2 pitch all the time. And the more, you know, Lamb continues to swing the bat and Peralta swings the bat behind him, they're going to force teams to pitch to him a little bit more.
The 2-2 is outside, full count.
But I guess in today's game, you know, maybe you should expand your strike zone and not walk so much, and maybe you'll strike out more, because so what? Strikeouts apparently don't matter.
They don't matter.
So.
Eight balls, 8 strikes for Tehran so far in the first. And the payoff to Goldschmidt is fouled away. That got AJ on the bare hand. And Goldschmidt just able to stay alive.
I don't want to make this a blanket statement about the starting staff, but this seems to be an issue with just about every guy, and that is how many pitches it takes to get an out. Even as good as Julio has been pitching, 7 innings in Chicago, 109 pitches. 7 innings, a 1-run ball at Boston, 115 pitches. They're going to a lot of deep counts.
Swing and a miss. Slider got Goldschmidt. And Joe, to your point, for a Braves bullpen that has been in a state of flux, when your starters are averaging 5 1/3 innings, and here we are playing in game number 28, that's not enough.
No, it's not. And I think a large part of it is just pitch count more than anything else. Aaron Blair last night, you know, kept his team in it, gave up 3 runs, only 2 were earned, but he threw 92 pitches in 5 innings and had to come out.
So let's see if Julio can be a little more efficient as David Peralta digs in. Ground ball to first. Freeman's got it. He'll take it to the bag, and Julio pitches around. The Jake Lamb double. Shelby Miller, the former Brave, takes to the Turner Field mound. He'll face his former mates next. First inning, Shelby Miller's on the mound for Arizona, and it's time for our Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light.
Yeah, we talked about his slow start at 0-3 with an 8.5 ERA. Here's further proof of what's been going on. ERA 6th highest in baseball. Walks 2nd most. His whip, hits and walks per 9 innings, almost 2 an inning. 4th highest, and home runs per 9 innings, 7th highest. So those are not categories you want to be the highest in.
I still think it's just until I see it, I'm not going to believe it.
No, and I think it's from what we've heard from some Diamondback people. His mechanics have been a work in progress, a little bit messed up maybe, and who knows too. Maybe, you know, it's always difficult changing teams and being part of a trade or a big contract or something like that. But let's face it, Diamondbacks gave up a lot for him, and there's a lot of pressure going on for him and for this team to do something this year.
Yeah, Greinke Miller and Patrick Corbin, tomorrow's starter, 4-8 with a 5.82 collective ERA so far for the Diamondbacks. And Miller's first of the game is over for a strike to Nick Markakis, and Shelby's night is underway. It's 0-1. Nick had a couple of hits last night. Out of play. It's quickly 0-2. You mentioned Shelby Miller's mechanics. He had something happen to him that I've never heard happen to a major league pitcher. On April 16th, Miller, after he delivered a pitch, actually had cuts and a bruise on the knuckle of his pitching index finger because his hand was hitting the slope of the mound after he let go of the baseball. And that one's hit high in the air towards center. Owings is back and has room. There's out number 1. Ballpark big enough to handle that drive from Nick Markakis, who will be followed by former Diamondback Ender Inciarte. On the lineup card tonight, Freddie Freeman hits 3rd, Pierzynski, Brignac, Aybar, Castro, Teheran the pitcher hits 8th, and MALLEX Smith 9th. Boy, it's good to see Ender Inciarte back.
Not only will he give everybody a spark offensively, and with his speed and ability to get on base, but his defense, like Tom was saying, coupled with MALLEX Smith and Nick Markakis, that's an outstanding defensive trio.
And I like the fact that they're going to let MALLEX play center. Let him figure it out there.
I like it too.
4th start of the year for Inciarte. He had a couple of hits with Gwinnett, walked once in his 2 rehab assignments with the G Braves. Last year a .303 hitter, 6 homers, 21 steals, and 73 runs scored with Arizona.
I mean, it's like they haven't had him at all. First at bat of the 3rd game when he got hurt.
I haven't seen him play yet.
Braves got Inciarte in that big deal with the Diamondbacks on December 8th. And it was right off the hands of Inciarte. Foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Inciarte down on a breaking ball from Miller. 2 up, 2 down for the Arizona right-hander.
First innings have not been a problem for Shelby Miller. That's not been the issue. He's been able to breeze through the first innings without giving up any runs or any damage. Opponents are 0 for 18 with 5 walks.
Freddie Freeman's 4 for 10 against Miller with a homer. And he unloads on the first pitch. Drives that deep right center. Owings back onto the warning track. That ball is gone. Freddie Freeman has hit a first pitch homer. And the Braves have struck first.
I'm glad I got that in before the pitch. High fastball, had something on it too.
So Freeman's 4th home run, and the Braves have a 1-0 lead. And A.J. PIERZYNSKI is the Atlanta hitter. Miller's given up 7 home runs now in 24 innings pitched. A.J. a check swing, fly ball to left, and Drury tracks it down, and that retires the side. The Braves score a run in the 1st, something Shelby Miller hasn't done all year. A Freeman homer makes it 1-0. Homer makes it 1-0 Atlanta after 1 inning. And fans, the first 20,000 in attendance Saturday, May 28th, get a Chipper Rescues Freddy ATV bobblehead. And yes, it's as funny as you imagine it. Visit Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today.
Yeah, it's funny.
So a nice crowd in Atlanta on a perfect night for baseball. Atlanta's jumped in front. And now Julio Teheran takes a 1-0 lead into the Arizona 2nd with Wellington Castillo, the catcher, set to lead things off.
I think that haircut Freddie got streamlined him a little bit. I was teasing him about it a little bit before the game. High and tight, left a little bit on top.
A cut that should sound familiar to Joe. Here's Castillo, first pitch swing, he grounds to short. And on to first in time, 1 out.
I wish there was something there on top.
Tommy, it's like we're working with Clint Eastwood over there.
I know, right?
Check him out. Looking sharp.
I'd even go with that if I had. Well, maybe not.
Here's Brandon Drury.
It's good on him.
Yeah. 6 homers, 12 RBIs for Drury, including a homer here last night. In case you fashionistas want to know about the Arizona uniforms tonight, they still have that gradient pattern on the uniform top and uniform bottoms. But this is called their gray primary jersey with the primary A cap.
Oh, I see. So the letters and numbers, you can actually see them tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No teal in this particular outfit. Bouncing ball to third. Brignac's got it. Long toss across. Easy play. 2 out. Tomorrow they'll have a special Mother's Day event uniform. for the Diamondbacks.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So if Mike Foltynewicz and Patrick Corbin aren't enough to get you to the ballpark, one of the 8 different uniform combinations for the Diamondbacks surely will be. Here's Chris Owings. Pressed into duty at center field with A.J. Pollock lost for the year with a broken elbow. That's a letter high strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Chris Owings is from Braves country. Went to Gilbert, South Carolina High School. He's going to play with the Gamecocks before agreeing to a contract with Arizona. They signed him as a supplemental first-round draft pick in 2009. And that's out of play, foul. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. He was the Diamondbacks minor league player of the year in 2013 when he got to the big leagues for the first time. He hit .330 at Reno that year and .291 in a late season call up.
I remember when he first got to the big leagues because we were wondering if he might be related to Micah Owings, and it's not the case.
Well, it must be something with the surname because Mike Owings came here one day and had a gigantic hit. 2 home runs.
Yeah.
And pitched.
And pitched great. Oh, just missed. BRIGNAC was headed to the dugout.
Another one of those at bats you're talking about, Joe. Had him 0-2, and now here we are. 5 pitches later, a couple foul balls, back to 2-2.
And now full count.
Yeah, when he was able to get Peralta on 1 pitch to end the first inning, it's kind of like it saved the whole inning. Julio's velocity was back up in those last 2 starts as well. Cool climate in Boston and Chicago didn't seem to bother him. He was around 93 most of the times. Sat around 91 and 2 tonight. I think his high has been 91.
To short, AYBAR with a backhand throws on the run, and he got Owings, and it's a perfect second inning for Julio Teheran. A shutdown frame. He leads 1-0, and Reid BRIGNAC will lead off next. Ball game as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Let's check out Shelby Miller last year versus this.
You see him last year on the right-hand side with the Braves. Delivery, follow through. You kind of see where his finish is, and as Chip mentioned, he did something that I've never heard of either this year. Threw a pitch and scraped his knuckles, and I guess you can kind of see why. Look at the difference in the follow through these 2 years. Now I'm not sure exactly what it is they're working on or trying to accomplish, but seems to me when your head is in that position, you probably don't have a real good idea where the ball's going, I would think.
I mean, his head was below his knee.
Yeah.
At one point.
Reed Brignac leads off and fouls it back. Strike one.
And it looked like when you look at it even from the beginning, last year when he was with the Braves, it was more of a kind of get on that back leg and drive forward, and he stayed tall. This year it looks like he's kind of trying to drop on that back leg and stride out further.
A bunt, and it's a beauty. Miller with a bare hand, off balance try, no chance to get Reed Brignac. And a bunt single starts the Braves second.
I agree, Tommy. The drop and drive, even some other video that we've seen, shows him really overstriding to the plate. Good bunt here by Reed. Had the shift on for him. No chance at all for Shelby to throw him out on that one.
So here's Eric Aybar, the Braves shortstop. Had a 2-hit game last night. Slowly his average is climbing toward 200. He's at 190 right now. And Aybar just got nailed.
Yeah, and he got dusted a couple of times last night by Greinke. Got him in the back.
Well, what's that all about?
Oh.
Zach Greinke started and won last night for Arizona. Jeff Porter attending to Aybar at the first base bag. Freddie Gonzalez there as well. And Aybar will stay in the game. 2 on, nobody out for Daniel Castro.
First hit batsman of the year for Shelby. So he's filled that column up a little bit here. Going back to the bunt, I love what Reed did there. All these teams that are doing all this overshifting, especially on the leadoff batter in an inning and inviting you to bunt. I don't care who you are. What difference does it make if you hit a line drive to center for a base hit or drop a bunt down? You've started a good inning. Love it.
Agree. But the argument is always, well, you know, would rather have you bunted for a single than hit a home run or an extra base hit. Well, okay.
Home runs and extra base hits, generally speaking, aren't part of the Braves' offensive repertoire.
No.
So that's almost a free hit.
And you know, from a pitching standpoint, I would almost rather give up a solo home run to lead off an inning than to have a guy have a bunt single off me, and now you're having to pitch out of the stretch and worry about all kinds of other things.
Especially when you got a guy who's scuffling like Shelby. Put him in the stretch immediately. That's where you can take some of that sabermetrics and.
Just missed outside. 2 balls, no strikes. You guys were talking about how strikeouts don't matter. There's a school of thought in baseball that wins don't matter for a starting pitcher. Tell that to Shelby Miller. When he won his final start of the year last year, for him it was almost like the personal World Series. And the reason for that is he had a 3.02 ERA with the Braves. He had 20 starts for Atlanta last year where he had 1 run or less of offensive support.
Well, remember, he had that long stretch without a win that snapped that streak, right?
Right.
It was like party time, and I got a huge load off his shoulders.
But the bad luck has continued in Arizona. He's given up a ton of runs, 22 of them in his first 6 starts.
There's one of those follow throughs.
Yep. He's shaking his hand again.
Yep.
Yep.
Last year at times when he got in trouble mechanics wise, it was because he kind of spun and fell off to the first base side, remember?
Yep.
And he did that there with the exaggerated follow through and dragged his knuckles.
And that's, but that, look, I don't like being critical because I don't know what these guys are trying to work on or the reasoning for what they did, but you're 100% right. When he, last year with Atlanta, when he struggled, he got to the point where, you know, he got out too far, got on that heel, spun out, and you don't have control over where the ball is going. And it seems to me that with him dropping on that back leg, trying to stride out further, it's almost like they're creating that problem more often now.
Yes.
You know, and I just, again, I know there's all kinds of different ways to get it done, but I mean, to me, you got a guy out there that's 6'3". Get on that back leg and drive downhill and pitch at 6'3". I don't understand why you're dropping back on that back leg and going from 6'3" to 5'10" and flattening everything out. I don't understand it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Paul Bird, have you ever seen anything like this from Shelby Miller?
No, it's very unusual to me. And Glav, you made a comment earlier. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why are you changing anything? You had such a great year last year. And, you know, I say that with caution because I was a pitcher that changed my delivery a lot. When I was in Kansas City, I won 17 games in 02, and I came to Atlanta. And I tried to learn the Greg Maddux sinker into a lefty, and I threw them over and over and over again. And in spring training on a cold day, I felt like I hit my funny bone on a door and ended up having Tommy John surgery. So I really would have appreciated, you know, Glav, you telling me earlier, hey, you know, there's no reason to make a change.
Oh, so it's all my fault. Right.
I'm transferring the blame to you.
All right.
Well, Miller's got a mess now. The bunt single, a hit batsman, a walk, 1 visit to the mound, and he's got Julio Teheran in the batter's box. Julio looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 10. He has struck out in 5 of those 10 at bats.
Good spot for it.
1-0 Atlanta, bases loaded. And outside, even count. Julio lifts that one out of play. It's now a ball and 2 strikes.
I've always heard you guys talk from a pitching standpoint, Tom, about if you're tall, use it to your advantage. And Shelby's 6'3". Throw downhill.
Absolutely.
Use that.
92, 93 downhill with some sink, with a little bit of depth on it.
Is this mechanical change, this repertoire change, a symptom of the environment in which he's going to pitch most of his games, pitching in Phoenix?
I don't, you know, typically, and again, I'm not saying I know everything about pitching, but typically when you start dropping on that back leg and the drop and drive and stretching and striding out further, you're trying to get more velocity. I'm not sure why you need to go from 92 to 96 or whatever just because you're pitching in Arizona.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, the problem is, like you say, when you shrink down like that, it's hard to throw downhill. So your fastball flattens out, and then it's hard to get your breaking ball to have any depth to it. Your breaking ball becomes an east and west pitch with no depth to it, and that's, you know, that's not fooling hitters much either.
And Julio's putting up a great fight, driving up the pitch count.
See, these foul balls, Chip, to me are a guy who is just trying to throw the ball over the plate. He doesn't want to walk the pitcher with the bases loaded. I just want to try to throw the ball right down the middle and get a strike, and that's why Julio's able to foul these off. He's not making pitches for a strikeout and get him out of there. He's just trying to get it over.
Miller's had the bases loaded 4 times, and he's issued 3 walks with the bases loaded already this year.
Major League average of pitches per inning is 16.5. Shelby averages 19.6. That's the 5th most in baseball.
And he's gone to a full count on Julio Teheran. Mallex Smith waits on deck. 3 on, nobody out. Popped up. That's an infield fly. Teheran's going to be out. And Mallex Smith is coming up.
That's all right.
Yeah.
He didn't hit into a double play, and he made him throw a bunch of pitches.
So the base is loaded for Mallex now. 1 out. Don't want to let Shelby Miller off the hook. Mallex batting with the bases loaded for the 2nd time in his young career. He's already been a clutch hitter with runners in scoring position. BRIGNAC, AYBAR, CASTRO versus Shelby Miller. But low, ball 2. Little sign of Mallex's major league maturity showing. He knows who's in trouble, and it's not him. He's not up there hacking at the 1st or 2nd pitch. Good rip at that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, I'm not sure what the scouting report says about Mallex on the advance report, but when you just look at him, you see a kind of a Mighty Mike type center fielder, you know, scat back type, and you know he's got good wheels, but you don't expect him to be able to turn on the ball like we've seen him do. So they sometimes make mistakes on the inner third and pay for it.
Fly ball toward left. Drury drifts back. BRIGNAC will tag at 3rd. The Diamondbacks will concede the run. It's a sac fly for Smith, and Atlanta extends the lead to 2-0. They played the shift. The Braves got a gift hit and a 2nd run on the sac fly. That's 9 RBIs for Mallex Smith now.
Yeah. Second on the club, isn't it?
Yep. Adonis Garcia had 8. Nick Markakis, the team leader, with 20. And Nick's up with 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-run lead.
Well, Shelby Miller would be thrilled to death to go in the dugout giving up only 1 run here.
Absolutely.
.94 on the corner. That's a strike. Nick Markakis batting .520 this year with runners in scoring position, the 5th highest mark in Major League Baseball. And a little tapper hit towards 2nd. Segura waits on the hop. And the throw to 1st. Shelby Miller did a heck of a job. Bases loaded, nobody out. He gives up only 1 run. And Mallex Smith sac fly makes it 2-0 Braves.
is sponsored by Baseball is sponsored by Delta Airlines, your local Ford dealer, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Single runs for the Braves in the first and second innings tonight here in Atlanta. A perfect night for baseball and a good start for Julio Teheran. He's gotten a couple of runs of support, and he'll face Shelby Miller leading off the Diamondbacks' third inning. Nick Ahmed and Gene Segura are coming up as well. And a letter high strike. Braves got Shelby Miller from the Cardinals in the Jason Hayward Jordan Walden deal. Terrell Jenkins also came over from the Cardinals in November of 2014. Shelby was originally a first-round pick by the Cardinals in 2009. And a bounding ball up the middle and a base hit, the first of the year for Shelby Miller on a 1-2 pitch. And Arizona's third inning is off to a good start. That's their second hit.
A little short slider that was in the middle of the plate.
Nick Ahmed hitting a .180. 3 homers. One of his 11 RBIs came here last night. They love this guy's glove, but he is at this point in his career the prototypical great glove, no hit shortstop.
Well, it's a good opportunity for him then to lay down a bunt, move the runner over.
Nick's out of East Longmeadow, Mass.
Wow, God's country.
Went to UConn.
High and tight, even count. Was the top defensive shortstop in the minor leagues in 2013. Won the minor league Rawlings Gold Glove Award. Talked about all the runs saved that Ahmed provided the Diamondbacks last year. But Willie hit. A lifetime .222 hitter in the big leagues, .269 in the minors.
If you're a career .269 hitter in the minors, you better have a good glove.
And a swing and a miss. Teheran got him with a breaking ball. That's 2 strikeouts. And we go back to the top of the order and Gene Segura, who's been a red hot Arizona hitter, and he's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Last 13 games, reached base in every game. And they needed him back in the lineup. You mentioned that hip injury, missed a couple of games. No signs of it last night. I see what the difference is on these uniforms too. I mean, not figured it out. I mean, they had to spend extra money on this lettering so you could see it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't afford piping all the way up the leg, so it only goes up part the way. From bottom to top. See, Got stops up there.
Yeah.
So well, they had to make cuts somewhere.
This is like the Tropicana Field of baseball uniforms. Because at the Tropicana Field, they didn't build the walls
the
same heights.
Yeah.
Same deal.
I thought you were going to say because there's a lot going on there, and there's a lot going on with these uniforms.
Well,
I thought that was.
You can go there if you want.
Okay.
A base hit the other way by Segura. And Shelby Miller will stop at second. And here come the Diamondbacks with 2 on and 1 out for Jake Lamb.
See, now I'm just curious. All right, that's just thinking out loud. If the batting lineup was reversed and Ahmed gets a base hit, then Shelby Miller is automatically bunting in that situation with your leadoff guy coming up, right? Why is it any different when your pitcher is hitting 8th and he leads off with a base hit, and you've got your 9th place hitter who's obviously struggling? Why is the bunt not even in thought in that situation?
That is a wonderful point.
Because now you got a base hit and you score. I mean, I guess maybe you don't want your pitcher running around, but I don't know. I mean,
line drive down the right field line. That is a fair ball in trouble. Miller's going to score. Segura's on his way to third. He'll get a stop sign. And around second is Lamb. The throw back there. Ball dropped. Runners coming home. Throw to the plate late. And Arizona has tied it up. Lamb took a wide turnaround second. The Braves had him dead to rights. The ball was dropped. And in the meantime, Segura came all the way around to score. And Lamb safely in at third base, and we're tied up.
Change up, middle of the plate, and just inside the line.
Segura got a good read on it. And I was kind of surprised that Matt Williams was holding him up.
Me too.
And I think Lamb was obviously very surprised.
And the throw into AYBAR, I don't know if it hit the bag where he didn't catch it. They've still got Lamb hung up if he goes to third instead of home. They get the out there. But as it was, he tried to come home and didn't get anybody.
And now the infield's going to come in for Paul Goldschmidt with Lamb 90 feet away, and the game tied at 2 apiece. And that missed inside. 2 balls, no strikes. So Shelby Miller got it started with a base hit. No need to sacrifice when you've got Lamb hitting another double. And here's the drop at second. What happened?
Oh, it was a short hop. But he had no play at the plate and still had a play on Lamb.
So just like that, the game's tied up. 2 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike with Peralta waiting on deck. And Goldschmidt takes a base on balls. Atlanta will go after Peralta, a left-handed hitter, and a man that has stung Braves pitching dating back to last year. So first and third for Arizona.
Show you another angle on that throw from Garcia to AYBAR when we have a second here. Here we go. Now look at the umpire. That's Rob Drake. It almost looks like Eric AYBAR got screened there a little bit. That was not a short hop. He may have gotten screened by the ump.
That's a tough error for.
Yeah, they just
AYBAR have to take.
They just announced an error on that play for AYBAR that allowed Lamb to take third base.
Yeah, at first I didn't know if it was maybe one of those ones where he wasn't sure if it was going to short hop him or not and hit the base, and then it got there in the air and kind of handcuffed him. But you're right, he got screened.
Swing and a miss by Peralta. Peralta, a former pitcher in the Cardinals organization. They converted him to the outfield.
See that patch on the sleeve of the Diamondbacks for Joe. It's for Joe Garagiola, who was one of the original executives in the front office for the Diamondbacks when they were created, and always part of their organization.
1 ball, 1 strike. And that missed inside, ball 2. Joe, a terrific broadcaster in his day. Hosted the Today Show from time to time.
He was one of those voices I remember from my childhood watching baseball games. Him, Kurt Gowdy,
Tony Kubek. Joe actually broke into the broadcasting business in St. Louis with my grandfather and Jack Buck.
Oh yeah,
doing the Cardinals games.
Learned from the best.
And then was so successful that the network suits at NBC called him, and the rest they say is history. He used to joke all the time about his major league playing career, which was very successful. As this one's rolled foul, Joe always quipped. He said, look, not only am I not the best catcher in Major League Baseball, I'm not even the best catcher on my street.
Yeah.
Because he grew up in South St. Louis on the what section of town called the Hill with Yogi Berra.
Right across the street.
And they were obviously lifelong friends and baseball lifers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of pitches for Tehran. Runner at first goes. Peralta check swing. Throw to second is short hop. And AYBAR smothered that. It's a stolen base for Paul Goldschmidt, his 3rd of the year. And Peralta's down on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning. .23 pitches so far in the inning for Julio. And now Wellington Castillo's up. He grounded out. And he rips one foul at 3rd.
We've figured out already that you can't pitch him up and in. He turned on a ball and hit a hot shot down the 3rd baseline last night on a pitch up and in.
Dating back to opening day last year, there's only 1 catcher in Major League Baseball with more homers than Wellington Castillo. And that's Brian McCann of the Yankees. Castillo has 25. Brian has 28. Little pop into center. Mallex Smith says he's got it, and he does. Arizona ties the game. A couple of runs, 3 hits, and 1 critical umpire screen. We go to the home 3rd. New life for Miller. In the home third, INCIARTE, Freeman, and AJ Pierzynski. Good to have Ender INCIARTE back. Braves might be getting Gordon Beckham back soon.
That was a good poster. Last swing before the ring.
Nice. Gordon Beckham tonight 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles, a run, and an RBI in his second rehab game for Gwinnett. So slowly but surely, Braves are getting their roster back together as INCIARTE digs in. New life for Shelby Miller, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the run support that troubled him last year is not a problem this year. Can't hang his hat on that for his issues.
How much of this, Tom, becomes mental rather than physical for Miller?
I was thinking that early in that last inning when, you know, Joe made the point that, you know, he's not making pitches to get guys out. He's just trying to throw it over the plate. And I think, you know, I'm not saying it's there, but it can be there real quick.
I mean, last year, even though Shelby had a 6-17 record, I loved watching the guy pitch. I mean, he was an animal going after people.
Yep.
And that missed. A 4-pitch walk for Miller just as soon as his mates tied the game for him. And that'll bring up Freddie Freeman, our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Got the Braves on the board in the first inning. First pitch to him. His fourth home run.
The Braves as a team now have 7. And Freeman digs in with INCIARTE at first. Ender, as you know, missed about a month with that hamstring problem. Let's see how frisky he feels on the base paths. You've got Castillo behind the plate. We saw how good he is with that amazing throw around a batter in the batter's box to get a man at second base.
I was telling Joe, I thought about that last night and again this morning, and that was a great throw.
1 ball, 1 strike for Freddie Freeman.
But, you know, back to Shelby for a minute. I think it gets to a point too sometimes where, and I know that kind of always happened with me when I'd get in ruts. Sooner or later, you just got to get on the mound and compete. You got to forget about everything and just give me the ball, try to make a pitch, and compete every pitch you throw, and forget about mechanics.
So the old Nuke Lelouch theory, don't think, just throw attitude.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes you know that your brain can get in the way, you know, and you got to shut it off. And like I say, just, all right, what pitch do I want to throw? All right, let's throw it. Okay, did I throw it the way I wanted to or not? Okay, well, let's try to throw the next one the way I wanted to if I didn't. And, you know, you really just keep it a pitch at a time, because you could get yourself so messed up mentally when you start thinking about from pitch to pitch mechanics. Where's my leg kick? Where are my hands? Where am I landing? What am I, you know, it kills you.
Exactly the same for a hitter when you're in a slump and you're trying to think about all that stuff instead of just see the ball. He wanted that pitch.
But when you're not around the plate consistently, the umpires probably won't give you the benefit of the doubt.
No, nor should they. I mean, you can't be all over the place and then throw a ball that's borderline and expect to get the call.
Good hitter's pitch for Freeman. 3 balls and a strike. Runner goes out of play, full count.
Well, Shelby's now thrown 25 2/3 innings, and he's walked 21 guys and hit 1. So that whip, that was at 1.97. If you took away the third of an inning that he started with tonight, 23 1/3, if you took that 1 out away, he's 2 base runners rather, per inning.
Inciarte's running, and Freeman skies one to left. That's pretty well hit. Drury back onto the warning track, and Park's going to hold it. And Inciarte scampers back to first. Freeman with a long fly out to left for the first out of the inning.
That might have been out of here in Arizona.
So a deep fly to left retires Freeman. That brings up A.J. Pierzynski. He also flied out to left field. A.J. didn't get that. Strike one from Shelby Miller. Already a big milestone for A.J. Pierzynski this year. 2,000th career hit, April 27th in Boston. 10th all-time among Major League catchers. Johnny Bench next on the list for A.J. The 0-1 pitch is upstairs, even count. Bouncing ball to Goldschmidt. He's going to go to second for one. The return to first is still in time. Two long throws, and Goldschmidt starts a 3-6-3 inning-ending double play. Are the Braves going to take a look at this one? Perhaps they will. For the moment, it ends the Atlanta third inning.
Two here, top of the fourth, Braves D-backs. You always have that friend, that person you like to deal with, somebody that's a good fit. Well, you know what? In Major League Baseball, that good fit between the Braves happens to be the Diamondbacks. Here's our Synovus greatness made here. How about the Justin Upton trade? We got three guys over there coming from the Braves, and then Phil Gosselin and the Touki Toussaint, and then Shelby Miller that we all know on the mound tonight. Interesting footnote, Brandon Drury liked being with the Braves so much that he named his Labrador Retriever dog Brave.
Well, I'm glad that he had that opportunity to get a nice lab before he went to Arizona, because Snaky or, you know, Snake Eyes or something probably wouldn't have been a good fit for his lab.
No.
The lesson in all that, guys, is if you're a Major League Baseball player, be real careful when naming your dog or getting a tattoo. I've seen that happen as well.
I thought you were going to tell us from personal experience.
You know, there's a reason that Paul told that story, because a Labrador is a bird dog, you know.
I like it. You're quick.
You're the one, huh? 2-0 count to Brandon Drury. And that's a strike. Two-2 game. Arizona 4 hits. The Braves have 2. And that just missed. 3 balls and a strike. Good news down on the farm last night. Williams Perez threw a 1-hitter for Gwinnett. A complete game, 9-inning masterpiece with 7 strikeouts. Foul straight back. Full count for Drury.
Good for him. He needed that. Need a little something for his confidence.
Down at Mississippi, Sean Newcomb. 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. 1 walk, 3 runs allowed, and he was hitting mid-90s.
Well, the 1 walk is the good sign in that outing.
Absolutely.
And the reports from Mississippi were that Newcomb's scouting report was that he was tired of kind of pussyfooting around, if you will, on the mound. He said, time to go after some people. And the Brave staff in Mississippi was very impressed with Newcomb's performance last night. Keep an eye on the name Willens Astudillo. He's the catcher at Mississippi. Astudillo at one point went 43 games without a strikeout. I think that's right. 43 games without a strikeout. He leads the Mississippi club in batting average at .284. He's a catcher.
He had a good spring. He got to play in a lot of games. Another long at bat here for Julio trying to dispose of Drury.
And he cannot. That one's ripped into the left field corner. Inciarte over quickly. Drury around first. He's sprinting towards second, and he'll stand there with a leadoff double. So Drury's second extra base hit of the series. And Julio immediately in trouble in a tie game.
Another bad, looked like kind of a slider spin and didn't do anything. He's got a quick bat.
Yeah, he does.
Short to the ball. Very little wasted motion.
So here's Owings. You've got the pitcher Shelby Miller hitting behind him. Owings grounded out to short his first time up. Miller with a single and run scored is next. Nobody out. Tie game, 2 apiece, 4th inning. And there's the bunt. Brignac with the throw to first. And Drury at third base after the Owings sacrifice. And now Shelby Miller, the key man of the inning. That's kind of strange. To your point, Tom, they don't sacrifice with Ahmed, the 9th place hitter, but they sacrifice with the 7th place hitter with the pitcher next.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. I mean, I don't dislike the play. You'd think maybe you'd give him a swing to try and go the other way or drive him in, you know, before you go right to the sac bunt. But
well, who's to say you won't see another bunt try here?
Well, you may.
Infield in for Shelby Miller with 1 out.
Julio to this point not near as sharp as he has been.
He's about to make his 70th pitch. Miller had a home run cut, didn't get it. 2 balls and a strike. Did you ever hit 8th, Tommy? You can remember?
No, I can't tell you how many times I'd come into the clubhouse and remind Bobby what my average was and say, hey, what do you think? And
4th,
always
5th?
No, you're hitting 9th.
2-2 pitch. And Miller didn't get it. Big strikeout for Julio Teheran. And again, this is a situation where, as luck would have it, the pitcher batting 8th is a key spot in a tie game.
I mean, I'm still at a loss, even with some explanations as to why it's advantageous to have your pitcher hitting 8th.
Well, Tony La Russa did it with the Cardinals when he was the manager, and his thought process was maybe 2-3 times a year you might get Goldschmidt up or Albert Pujols up with the bases loaded and he hits a grand slam.
Well, there was also the thought that they wanted Albert Pujols to bat in the first inning every game.
Right.
After that, he's got 3 position players hitting in front of him where he's going to have more opportunities for RBIs than he would have if the pitcher was one of those 3 hitters in front of him.
But that's predicated on your number 9 guy getting on base. And as we've said, Nick Ahmed is a terrific defensive player.
Yeah, that's the difference between Ahmed and the way Freddie Gonzalez lines his up with a guy like MALLEX Smith in the 9 spot, who is like a second leadoff hitter.
Well, let's see if Julio can leave Drury 90 feet away. Leadoff double, a sacrifice, and a strikeout. Now a 1-1 count to Nick Ahmed. Two and two. Arizona's got a couple of real good hitting coaches on their staff, and Dave Magadan and Mark Grace. They were working overtime with Ahmed during BP tonight, trying to get his stroke working. 2-2 pitch. Good eye fills up the count.
Well, he's getting a steady diet of sliders. He struck out on 3 of them his first time up.
But you know, to me, that's if I have one criticism for Julio, it's, you know, you saw that graphic right there with the pitches, and he's done it to a number of hitters tonight where he's virtually doing nothing on the inside part of the plate to get the hitters off of it. Those are pretty good pitches right there that he's not chasing. If you throw a few inside, he's not so sure where those pitches are.
.78 pitches for Teheran. He's gone to ball 3 7 times already.
Out of 18 hitters.
And honestly, I think that's part of the problem. You know, when everything is, and I used to fall into that sometimes too, where everything's away. Those guys are getting real good looks at where everything is, and they're less apt to chase. Even if you just throw one inside, now all of a sudden you go back out there, they're not real sure if that pitch is on the corner or off the corner anymore.
And that's downstairs. Ahmed coaxes a 2-out walk, and the inning continues for the Diamondbacks. Now you've got Segura coming up, who's been Arizona's best hitter for average all year. And a trip to the mound coming from Roger McDowell. This may be a breather as much as a pep talk.
That was one of his keys, was both sides, working both sides of the plate, and he has not done that tonight.
No, I think I know he's thrown there have been a couple balls that have been inside that,
you know, I did not look to see exactly where AJ was set up to see whether they were trying to go away and they missed in, or if they were purposely in. The only ones that I really saw him try to pitch inside was Goldschmidt. And to me, if you're struggling with your command a little bit, that's probably not a guy you want to be fooling around with on the inside part of the plate. But, you know, it's just, again, it's that age-old, you know, I know you want to get him out of the way, and that's fine, but you got to do something to keep him honest on that other side of the plate to give your, if nothing else, you give yourself more room for error. You don't have to be so perfect.
Well, a dangerous man is up now in Gene Segura, who has a hit and a run score. He scored the second Arizona run back in the third inning. First and third, 2 outs. That one pops away from AJ, and Ahmed will move up 90 feet.
First time through the order, Julio threw first pitch strikes to 8 of the 9 guys. Got ahead. Second time through the order, 4 out of 9, and he's fallen behind Segura here as well.
So after the wild pitch, Ahmed's at second, Drury's still at third, and a base hit could score 2 Arizona runs.
See, that's a pretty good pitch right there. But he has no intentions of swinging at because he sees it so good. I mean, that pitch looks like a strike for a long time, or at least it's in the zone. It's down a little bit, but he's getting such a good look at that. He's not even offering it swinging at that pitch.
Will they green light him 3-0? He didn't pull the trigger. 3 balls and a strike.
Well, the guy on deck has hit 2 doubles off of you tonight, so you got to respect that. But you've also got the base open to a guy who's been tearing the cover off the ball literally, and I wouldn't give in to him. Change up something here. That's not an automatic strike.
Another full count for Julio. Here it comes, and Segura drives that one down the line, foul, and hey, nice catch.
Oh, nice. And that's what it's all about. They got a nice crew down there now. See, it's all a close-knit group.
Yeah, that group is from Valdosta. Very friendly folks down there. And now 3-2 for Segura again. He is headed for the upper deck. And a fan from Johns Creek absolutely butchered him.
Did he?
Just dropped, flat out dropped.
Bad fielders out there at Johns Creek. We're way better fielders than Alpharetta.
You start annexing, you know, you're not quite the fielder you used to be.
Exactly. A lot of pressure standing on your own 2 feet.
86 pitches for Julio. Number 87's on the way now to Gene Segura. And a little tapper up the middle. Backhanded, throw to first, and just in time to get Segura. Bang, bang play. Daniel Castro got his man, but Arizona might take a look at this one. This was awfully close.
Did it end the inning? A look at the replay.
Got him.
Got him by that much. And that will end the inning. Braves fourth coming up. Reid BRIGNAC in a 2-2 game will get it started.
It was, awesome. I mean, the history, obviously, for what it is, being from, coming from the Olympics back in 1996 and then turning it into a baseball field, and then just the run that the Braves had there, and just all the history it has. It was a neat experience to play there for a year.
Shelby Miller's a class act. Good guy.
It was a pleasure watching it.
It sure was.
I mean, he went 6-17 and went 24 starts without a win. And I liked watching him pitch every time he took the ball.
And you know what? He never complained about it.
Nope.
To my knowledge. You talk about a consummate professional under very difficult circumstances personally. With regards to the individual stats, always put the team first.
That's why I said what I did, that I'm going to have to see it with my own two eyes to see if he's been as bad as his numbers and reports have been about him.
Well, he righted the ship last inning, a leadoff walk and then a double play. And now with Reid BRIGNAC up there, the Arizona Diamondbacks don't have a severe shift on it. Remember, BRIGNAC bunted to start the second, and that led to the second Braves run. AYBAR and CASTRO to follow. We're in the fourth inning, 2-2 game. And over but low, and here he is again. 3 balls, no strikes.
He barked a little bit at Sam Holbrook, and Wellington Castillo did a real good job there of standing up in front of Sam Holbrook and diffusing that whole situation.
There's a strike. It's 3-1. Arizona's had a rough week. They've lost 6 of 7 games, snapped their losing streak here last night. But luckily, as we mentioned, they're playing in the right division to have some early season struggles. Despite being 5 under, Arizona's only 3 games out of first. And they head to Colorado after the game tomorrow to start a series with the Rockies, who are only a game out of first. And a ground ball to second. SEGURA's got that, and Miller recovers from a 3-0 count to get BRIGNAC for out number 1. Here's AYBAR. He got plunked again. That was back in the second inning.
The scouting report on him has certainly been to crowd him inside.
in for a strike. Braves' next series will be here at home. We will host the Phillies starting Tuesday night. And then next weekend we're in Kansas City at the start of a 3-city road trip. Royals got some bad news. Mike Moustakas DL'd today, broken left thumb. Royals began play tonight, losers of 8 of their last 10 games. The defending world champs at 500 to start the year. And out of play by Aybar, no balls, 2 strikes. But they won today. They shut out Cleveland 7-0 on Derby Day.
Yeah, nice hat. Congratulations to one of our broadcasting colleagues, Ed Olchuk, hockey announcer, who is one of the principals in Nyquist, who won the Kentucky Derby today.
I'm glad you said that horse's name, because every time I hear it I want to say NyQuil.
Well, you did say that to me earlier today.
After the last couple of weeks, that's good reason.
Good point. 0-2. Did he hit him again? Nope. Eric got out of the way of that one across the shoe tops. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
58-foot slider.
Quick feet.
But even that pitch has a purpose, like you say. Make him move his feet, get him a little uncomfortable in there.
And slashed foul again. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Aybar.
Well, if I'm Shelby, whatever happens tonight, I'm remembering this at bat, and I'm remembering the 3 fastballs he's thrown Aybar in this at bat that he's fouled off or took for strikes, because they're the 3 best fastballs he's thrown all night long.
The last one was 95.
Yeah, he's thrown him 2. I think the first 2 strikes were 93, sink down in the zone, and then, like you said, that last one was 95. So if you get to the point where you're still searching for something on video, this is, to me, is the at bat you go watch, because this has been his most aggressive at bat of the night, it seems.
Oh my.
Miller thought he had him struck out. He and Sam Holbrook aren't seeing eye to eye tonight.
An extra pitch for Aybar here. Castillo, as good a receiver as he is, may have hurt his pitcher with that one, but that appeared to be a strike when it crossed the plate.
He aired that one out too high, full count. Swinging a fly ball to right. Peralta, though, will make the grab. And Aybar is out number 2. Here's Daniel Castro.
When I think of Shelby pitching last year at his best, with the mechanics that he had, he was at his best when everything was, you call it lanes, Tommy, but even mechanically, when he's going right at the plate, when he's driving right at the plate and not spinning off. And he's done that better this inning than he had the previous 3.
Right.
So Shelby Miller appears to be settling in. He retires the Braves in order in the bottom of the 4th. Stay with us after the ball game for Braves Live. We'll recap all of tonight's action. We'll check in with Freddie Gonzalez. And we'll head to the clubhouse to hear from the players. Braves Live after the game presented by Xfinity. Kelsey Wingert is hosting tonight. Tim Hudson out on the set. Tim did a nice job in what I'm sure will be an Emmy-worthy pregame appearance with Tom Glavine and Paul Bird tonight.
What a perfect night for Huddy, Tom, and Paul to be here all to talk about Julio Teheran and also Shelby Miller and his struggles and talk about pitching against an old team and what have you. I thought that was a perfect night for that.
That was good. Good to see Huddy. Huddy looks good.
Huddy's liking this TV gig too, by the way.
Yeah.
He joined us in the booth for a game earlier this year. But he's going to do a couple more, I think, before the summer's out.
I liked what Paul said to him right at the beginning of the pregame show, and he said, "Hey, Huddy, welcome to the group of washed up."
Yeah.
That was nice.
Swing and a miss by Jake Lamb, who's had a couple of doubles tonight. Lamb, Goldschmidt, and Peralta. Swing and a fly ball deep right. Markakis on the run. He is gonna get there shy of the track. Lamb scorched it.
Jake Lamb didn't join in the fun last night for the Diamondbacks, and he's hit 3 bullets tonight. Almost had another extra base hit.
But Markakis fleeced him on the warning track for the first out, and here is Paul Goldschmidt.
No wonder you're up for an Emmy.
Yeah. Here's the first to Goldschmidt. Paul's the Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard subject tonight.
Well, when you look at those numbers, you know why he's the standard.
Did we get an answer as to who was leading in those 2 categories with homer and RBI?
Yes.
Said he's 5th in?
Chris Davis.
Ah, okay. I wasn't thinking about that other league.
1-1 pitch. And Julio got the corner there. It's 1-2. Well, you'd love a fast inning for Teheran here. Maybe squeeze another one out of him in the 6th. His spot's due up first when the Braves come up. We're still tied. Braves bullpen has had to work a lot of innings.
Well, we got a couple off days coming up, right? So, if you're going to extend him a little bit further, then certainly be a good time to do it. Season high was what, 115?
Yes. He hasn't had the slider that he had in the last 2 starts. Now, there was a good hard slider there, but not where a hitter's going to offer at it because it's too far off the plate. A left-hander might have.
Beautiful pitch there, froze Goldschmidt. He wasn't looking for that, and he has struck out for a 2nd time in the game. And that's number 4 for Julio tonight.
And there was a good one.
Yep. Can't throw it any better than that.
Beg your pardon, 5 strikeouts for Julio as Peralta hits. He whiffed his last time up.
He likes the first pitch. Remember Gerardo Parra and how good he was for the Diamondbacks. They actually made a deal to move him because they had to make room for this guy, Yasmani Tomas, who they signed as a free agent, but with the way Peralta had emerged, they had room to trade Parra and get something back.
Up and in. Spun Peralta out of the way. 2 balls at a strike. Arizona trying to keep pace with the Giants. They beat the Rockies in 13 innings today. It was a 2-1 final in San Francisco. And this one's popped up to straightaway center. MALLEX Smith measures it up. And Peralta and the Diamondbacks are done in the 5th. Good inning for Julio Teheran. He'll lead off. We're still tied.
Headed into the bottom of the 5th, and it is time for your Xfinity game break. We'll head over to St. Louis for an NL Central battle where the Cardinals were hosting the Pirates. Matt Carpenter at the dish in a tied ball game in the bottom of the 9th, and that is out of there. The Cardinals would walk it off. 6-4 is the final. The Pirates won last night, so the series is now evened up. Guys.
We'll see. Thank you very much. Yeah, Pittsburgh won 4-2 yesterday for the Pirates. Ball club that hasn't hit many home runs. They got Jung-Ho Gong back, and he had 2 in his season debut after coming back from his leg injury last year. So that series tied at 1-1. Tonight's game tied 2-2. And the Braves are going to go to the bench. It'll be Chase d'Arnaud batting for Julio Teheran here in the 5th inning. d'Arnaud, Smith, and Nick Markakis. And a base hit for d'Arnaud. That's a good start. Leadoff man aboard in a tie game.
And he can run.
Well, Julio's had more than his fair share coming out of a game with a lead and losing it. Maybe they can turn the ties tonight and pick him up here and get a run and get him a win.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Let's see what MALLEX Smith has in mind. It's a bunt, and it's bunted hard to third. That's a fair ball, and that'll be a sacrifice. Thank you very much. Ball looked like it was going to roll foul, but Lamb conceded the base. Smith got the job done. Now Markakis' chance to put the Braves in front with 1 out.
And it might have, but he didn't have the luxury of waiting because that ball was bunted so hard. That might have rolled all the way past the bag and into left field.
5 inning pitch, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, Teheran,
101 pitches for Teheran over 5 innings, 2 runs, only 1 earned, and 5 hits. I think we'd all agree he didn't have his great stuff, but he kept the Braves in the game.
Yeah, he did. And disappointing for him. I know after the last 3 that have been so good, dominating good.
So the right guy in the right spot for Atlanta is Nick Markakis, the team leader in RBIs with 20. And Nick looking for his first base hit tonight. Ahmed playing right behind d'Arnaud, trying to keep him close to the second base bag. 1-0 pitch from Miller. And skied out of play, foul.
Well, after some first 2 inning problems for Shelby Miller, when you look at his last 3 starts, 10 innings, 10 hits, 10 runs, 13 walks. This is an improvement over that, and he's still tied.
And a break for him too. He'll miss Colorado. He won't have to pitch at Coors Field. His next start will come at home in Arizona when they start a series with the Giants on Thursday the 12th.
Well, his last outing before tonight was against the Rockies in Arizona, and he only went 3 2/3 innings.
Two balls, 1 strike. And a shot to Goldschmidt. He'll make the play backhanded and race to the bag for the second out. Well, he's good over there. It was a hard hit ball. d'Arnaud to third, 2 outs, and here's Ender Inciarte.
Shelby may have telegraphed that off-speed pitch a little bit, kind of slowed everything down, and Nick got a good hack at it.
Slider finished down and in a little bit.
Go ahead run 90 feet away for Inciarte, who has struck out and walked. Freddie Freeman's on deck. And that's golfed into the seats, foul. And ironically enough, a fan from Augusta made the catch.
En fuego. You are en fuego.
Up the middle, but there's Ahmed. Look at that play to
Beautiful.
retire the side.
Beautiful.
Wow, Nick Ahmed makes a gorgeous play to keep this game tied. 2-2 is your score. And we are off to inning number 6.
Our countdown of games remaining at Turner Field continues tonight with our pal the Lemmer doing the honors tonight.
Got a big ovation too.
Yeah, he did.
Still one of the more popular players ever here. And a dang good one. Looked like he was pointing up to all of his friends at the Chop House there when he got done.
So Bud Norris will go to work out of the bullpen for Atlanta. No decision for Julio Teheran tonight. 5 innings of 2-run, 1 earned run ball tonight. And let's see if Bud can have an easy time of it in relief.
He's had 2 good long relief outings since he went to the bullpen, both against the Mets. A total of 4 2/3 innings of 1 hit shutout ball, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
Wellington Castillo greets him first. And Norris missed low. 1 ball, no strikes. Castillo, as you see, a hitless game. He's grounded out and popped out. He has plenty of pops, so got to be careful with him. Arizona enters play tonight with 41 homers as a club. They started tonight's play with 284 hits, with 106 of those extra base hits.
Well, there was an interesting note in the Braves media notes tonight. Teams the Braves have played this season own a .591 winning percentage. That's the best in baseball. My question is, are those teams .591 because they played the Braves, or are the Braves 7-21 because they played all of these good teams?
Well, I'll answer that for you. I'd say Washington would answer the, yeah, they're a .591 team, right?
Yes.
Mets, have to put them in that category, I would think. Cubs?
Yes, definitely.
The way the Marlins are playing lately, you'd have to say yes, but they weren't at the time we played them.
No, but the Braves swept them, so
right?
no.
And 3 with the Cardinals, 4 with the Red Sox.
Cardinals and Red Sox, absolutely.
So
those are good teams.
And the Dodgers, who are kind of muddling around right now. So yeah, we talked about that from the opening days of spring training. The schedule makers did the Braves no favors.
Did not.
As Norris has done himself no favor by walking the leadoff man in a tie game.
Yeah, no, so far I would think they've played everybody that arguably everybody says has a legit chance to win their divisions that they're playing in. They're not playing the bottom of the barrel in any of the divisions.
No, they're not.
And it doesn't get any easier. You got the Phillies next. Then a road trip that takes you to Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia.
Those will be inclusive of that first 40 games of the year that the other network said would be the toughest first 40 games of any team.
Brandon Drury with a man at first and nobody out. Drury has a double tonight. 2 hits in the series, both of them extra base hits. And a shot toward the gap in left center field. That's going to get down. INCIARTE will chase it to the wall. Here comes Castillo around third. They're going to wave the catcher. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is high and not in time. Matt Williams brought Castillo home from first on a double, and Arizona's taken a 3-2 lead.
When you watch this replay, watch how far off the plate Brandon Drury stands. He invites you to pitch him away. And even when the ball runs back into him a little bit, he is so quick in there on the ball, lacing it. Good relay here, but too late. The high throw was the difference. So the leadoff walk came back to haunt Bud Norris.
13 RBIs for Drury now, and he's in scoring position for Chris Owings. The Braves were thinking about challenging that call at the plate, but Castillo clearly in safely. So it's 3-2 Arizona. And Owings 0 for 1 with a sacrifice, digs in. That's high from Norris. 1 ball, no strikes. Cubs won again today. They beat the Nationals 8-5 at Wrigley Field. Gio Gonzalez and Jason Hamill were the starters in that one. Did Ben Zobrist hit a home run today?
Well, he should have. Jason Hamill in his career against Washington going into that game, and I don't know if he got the decision. 9-0.
Wow. The Cubs won 8-6 yesterday. They won 8-5 today against that Washington staff. Scherzer and Gio Gonzalez have scored 8 runs in back-to-back ball games against the team that leads the National League East.
Zobrist did not hit a homer. Chris Bryant did.
That's way inside. Now, one thing we noticed about the Cubs was that offense is really good. Their run differential is already ridiculous in the first 5 weeks of the season. As that one found the mark, 3-1 the count. The Cubs entered play today with a +98 run differential. And with a 3-run win today, they've outscored their opponents by 101 runs in 29 games.
And even before that victory, they were off to their best start in 99 years.
There's another walk from Norris. And he raises his arms in exasperation. And Roger McDowell is going to make his way out to the mound.
Hunter Cervinka begins to loosen up. Here's where you were talking about, Chip, the bullpen that's been used a lot.
Yeah.
Now Bud Norris has been working in long relief, so he hasn't been out there every night. But when you've got to fill in 4 innings, that's a lot for the bullpen to undertake when they've been working a lot.
Yeah, here's where you would have loved him to come out here and get you at least 2 innings, get you to your 8th and 9th inning guy.
But he's faced 3 hitters, hasn't retired one of them, and he's given up a run. And another chance for Shelby Miller to help himself. He does not have sacrifice yet this year, but he does have a single and a run scored tonight. And now he leads the game 3-2.
Matt Williams threw me there for a second. He was standing right at the third base bag. I thought, wait a minute, how'd they get him loaded?
He looks like he could still play, doesn't he? No balls and a strike. That's popped up behind the plate, but no play for AJ. It's 0-2.
Talking to some of the players and coaches today before the game, everybody was really excited about getting Ender Inciarte back and what they hoped he would bring to the club with a little life. He's such an energetic guy and likable guy, positive guy that they were hoping that positive vibe would rub off on everybody.
Shelby can't advance the runners. He strikes out on a foul bunt, and there's the first out. Well, doesn't it stand to reason, Joe? I mean, look, we know what the Braves are and we know what the Braves aren't at this point. For a club that's going to have trouble scoring runs, for a club that's still trying to find its way with its rotation and its bullpen, run prevention has got to be at the top of the list of important things for this ball club to accomplish.
You've heard me say a million times, Chip, a team never looks its worst than when it's playing bad defense, because it permeates everything. It makes you feel bad about the way you look, about the way you play. It's hard on the pitchers to try to get extra outs. So if you're going to have trouble, as you said, scoring runs, playing good defense is going to make it a little easier.
Ahmed shoots one toward right. Markakis will make the catch. No chance for Drury to tag. And there's the second out.
If you can pitch and catch, then that's 2/3 of it, and you try to squeak out some runs here and there.
And we're not just talking about the errors that are counted. We're talking about plays that aren't made.
Exactly. Last night, a couple of bad throws that don't go in the book as errors, but were poor execution of fundamentals.
You know, the other thing it does too, I always maintain, is it's a lot easier for an offense to score runs when they don't have to, when they don't feel like they have to carry a burden or what have you. If you're asking them to score 1 or 2 runs a night.
Line to third on a hot shot by Segura, and that's going to take care of Arizona. All in all, nice job by Bud Norris to limit damage to only 1 run, but it's the go-ahead run. It's a 3-2 game. He unloads on the first pitch, drives that deep right center. Owings back on the warning track. That ball is gone. Freddie Freeman has hit a first pitch homer, and the Braves have struck first. A happy hitter and a happy fan. That's the man that caught Freddie Freeman's solo home run in the first inning. That staked Julio Teheran to a 1-0 lead. He led 2-0 before Arizona struck for 2 in the third. And then for the go-ahead run against Bud Norris in the top of this 6th inning. So Freddie will lead things off. Shelby Miller back out there for Arizona with a 1-run advantage. Two lifetime homers for Freeman against the Arizona right-hander now. And he got the outside corner. Now Freddie Freeman complains. Bouncer toward first. Goldschmidt, good play. Good feed to Miller. And there's the first out.
I'm telling you, I don't know what kind of defensive player he might have been in college that caused him to be an 8th round pick. But he is slick over there. He's quick. He makes good throws. on top of his offense.
5 errors for Goldschmidt last year. 5.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. So the leadoff man on is down for the Braves in the 6th. Here's A.J. Pierzynski. A.J. was doubled up in his last at bat. That's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Shelby's pitch count is very manageable despite his struggles early. You see only 76 pitches here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, it feels like I looked up there earlier and saw that, and I was like, it doesn't seem like that can be right. It feels like it's been a much bigger struggle than that.
Well, he is free and easy right now, isn't he? Or appears to be gaining confidence with every pitch. He entered play tonight 0-3 with an 8.49 ERA. High towards center. Owens on the run, still going. He's at the track, and he makes the catch. The park big enough to hold that drive from A.J. Pierzynski. 2 out.
A.J. was mad. He put a mad swing on it. He was mad because he had a chance to bunt the pitch before, pulled the bat back, and got a fastball down the middle. So here he cuts it loose, gets good extension. Just far enough away from him that he couldn't get it out.
It's not always going to be pretty with Owings out there in center field with A.J. Pollock hurt. But he handled that one for the 2nd out. And now Reid Brignac is up. His bunt single led to the 2nd and last Atlanta run. In fact, the Braves have a total of 1 hit since the start of the 3rd inning tonight. And that one is going to be hit number 2. A 2-out single to center keeps the inning alive for AYBAR. Brignac's going to be in the 3rd base picture, I would assume, going forward, with Oliveira on administrative leave, with Garcia down in the minor leagues learning to play left field. Gordon Beckham could be back by the Phillies series, and he'll get some reps at 3rd base.
Yeah, maybe a platoon or something over there.
And now Castillo out for a chat as AYBAR gets set to dig in. If Shelby Miller can give these guys 7 innings tonight, they'd be thrilled to death.
Yes, they might be thrilled with 6.
He scattered 4 hits. It looked very shaky early, but minimized the damage. And the base is loaded with nobody out in the 2nd and allowed just 1 run. And AYBAR got jammed. That's out of play. Strike 1.
Told you earlier that Miller has averaged right at 20 pitches per inning on the year. Tonight he's only gone over 20 pitches 1 time, and that was the 2nd inning.
And Tommy, you might be right. Action begins in the Arizona pen as Miller's approaching the mid-80s.
I think, to me, if he gets through this inning, it's less about pitch count and more about let's get him out of a game where he's actually gotten deep into it and feeling good about himself, have a little confidence, and not try to push that 1 more inning where now if something goes wrong, you've kind of erased a whole night's worth of good work.
Ground ball right side. Goldschmidt will handle that. And Shelby Miller has thrown 6 innings of 4-hit ball at the Braves. He leads 3-2.
It's Toyota key play, and it came off the bat of the man who's leading off this inning, and that's Jake Lamb. A double into the right field corner. A couple of guys on base. And on this play, Lamb rounded second too far, but the throw to second, even though they had him, was apparently screening the umpire. A rookie umpire, Carlos Torres, apparently kind of screened Aybar there. The ball hit off his ankle, the run scored, and Lamb made it to third. That was very much a key play in this game.
So that's helped Arizona to a 1-run lead as we head to the 7th, and it's Hunter Cervenka on to pitch against Jake Lamb. 2 doubles and an RBI, and a flyout to deep right for Lamb. Cervenka has been terrific. Ball 1. Bud Norris an inning. 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. '92 and right on by Lamb. 1-1.
This is the 4th time that Cervenka has worked in back-to-back games, and one other time on the last road trip he worked in 3 straight days. The last game of the series against Boston here, then in Boston 2 straight nights. You know, there's 94. We don't often talk about the fact that he can rush it up there too to go with that cutter and curveball.
Lamb spoiled a good pitch there. Still alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line to third. Lamb hit it the other way hard, but Reid Brignac was there. And Cervenka gets the first man. 1 down.
Lamb was the first guy he faced last night, and he hit a fly ball to deep left, and then Goldschmidt came up and lined one to left. So they saw him last night.
Two strikeouts and a walk for Goldschmidt tonight. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Mike Foltynewicz and Patrick Corbin square off in the series wrap up here tomorrow. First pitch 1:35. Braves live at 1 o'clock. And then an off day Monday, and then the Phillies are in town. 1 out walk to Goldschmidt brings up Peralta. Second time Goldschmidt has walked in the game. And now another lefty-lefty matchup. Peralta's been an on-base machine for the Diamondbacks. He's been on base in 22 of his 24 starts so far this year. But Atlanta's held him in check tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout.
And be careful on the first one.
Zach Greinke won last night. Shelby Miller is winning tonight. They've got him picked off with a good throw. And Goldschmidt's gunned down. 2 out. That's a play the Braves couldn't execute last night. A little better tonight. 2 down.
Yeah, good throw by Freddie there. Stepped out to get a little more angle on the throw. Clean look for AYBAR.
It's amazing how much easier it is to catch the ball without an umpire in the way.
Yeah.
So Peralta with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. This figures to be a 1-inning stint for Cervenka. The pitcher spot is due second when the Braves come up. Jim Johnson is getting ready. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So again, for a Braves club that's competing in 2016 and trying to build for its future, you've got to think Hunter Cervenka is pitching himself into those plans. What a find he has been. With Blair and with Mallex Smith. The emergence of Matt Whistler.
Not just that, but the emergence of a left-hander when they struggled so long in spring training to find someone. And really it was just some isolated outings by Hunter that got their attention where they started paying attention to him.
I mean, it was so dire at the end of spring training that because there were no other options, the Braves were considering starting this year with no lefties in the bullpen.
Freddie said that had never happened to him before as a manager, but that was a consideration.
But they made the cash deal with the Pirates to get Eric O'Flaherty, and Cervenka got here quickly too. The 2-2 pitch, but low, full count. 13 straight scoreless outings for Hunter Cervenka. That's the longest in Braves franchise history.
I think I said too, he gave up a hit to the first guy he faced, and he hasn't given one up since. 25 hitters.
And another good inning for Hunter Cervenka. Wicked breaking ball. Strikes out David Peralta. 7th inning stretch. Let's see if Atlanta can throw the Diamondbacks another curve and take the lead. It's a 3-2 Diamondback lead in game 2. Well, available for the first time to the general public on Tuesday, May 10th. SunTrust Park season tickets. They start at as little as $7 per game for A-list members And almost half of the seats can be secured for under $20 a game. Mark your calendar for May 10th and visit Braves.com/SunTrust Park to learn more. We got our guided tour yesterday, and here is the first hit in the history of SunTrust Park. Look at my partner picking him up and putting him down.
It was perfect.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
The bunt or the trot?
Both.
Yep.
Just wore Birdie out.
It was a 98-mile-an-hour split-fingered changeup.
Yeah, split-fingered duct tape.
Well, you guys were right. Shelby Miller, 6 innings. He's out of the game with the lead, 3-2, and now it's Tyler Clippard on to pitch the bottom of the 7th against the Braves, and Clippard off to a good start in the desert.
Clippard gave up a base hit to the first guy he faced last night. That was in the 7th inning. Base hit to AYBAR, but then on a funny play in the dirt where AYBAR tried to advance and most anybody else would try to also, Wellington Castillo made the play that Tom was referring to earlier as just a brilliant throw to get AYBAR, and then 2 strikeouts, and Clippard was out of the inning.
Yeah, it was like a boomerang the way he threw around the hitter in the batter's box. So Clippard versus Daniel Castro. And he backed away from an inside corner strike. Daniels walked and bounced out to third. High fly ball toward left. Drury near the line is going to have plenty of room. And Brandon puts it away. There's the first out. Kelly Johnson grabs a bat. He'll pinch hit for Cervenka, who worked a scoreless inning.
24, Kelly Johnson pinch hitting for the Braves.
Kelly looking for his first pinch hit. He's 0 for 7.
1 inning pitch, 1 walk, 1 strikeout.
So more good work for Cervenka. Kept the Diamondbacks right where they are. Let's see what Kelly can do with 1 out and the bases empty. Good rip at that one out of play. Strike 1.
Darno tonight had a pinch hit single, solid hit to left, but coming into the game, the Braves were just 3 for 36 as pinch hitters.
Missed it last night. The Arizona media guide tells us that Tyler Clippard has more strikeouts than any other major league relief pitcher since 2009. More than Craig Kimbrell, more than Aroldis Chapman, more than Kenley Jansen. All of whom are flamethrowers.
My only, and I'm not taking anything away from Tyler. He's had a nice career. My only qualifier on that is I wonder how many more innings he's got than a lot of those guys.
One ball, 2 strikes. And that went through Castillo. That's the only ball he's missed this whole series.
Yeah.
2-2. Well, last year Clippard with Oakland and the Mets. 5 wins, 4 losses. Appeared in 69 games. Through 71 innings. 64 strikeouts. Now the 2-2 pitch. And that's right there. Kelly took strike 3. And Clippard has the second out. Clippard's best year was 2011. 3-0 with Washington, a 1.83 ERA. second to Craig Kimbrell in strikeouts among relief pitchers that year. He had 104 of them. Craig Kimbrell struck out 127. I did not realize that Tyler Clippard was that big of a strikeout presence, because when he faced the Braves, they tattooed him with the Nationals.
Yeah, and never really closed for him, maybe on an isolated basis. They always had somebody else at the end of the game.
That's outside for MALLEX. 2 balls, no strikes. And on the appeal to third, no swing. We're late in Atlanta, 3-2 Arizona. Braves led 2-0. Diamondbacks tied it up in the second with a pair of runs. And a leadoff walk issued by Bud Norris turned into the third Diamondback tally. It's a strike, 2-1 now. Bouncing ball to Goldschmidt. That'll be easy. And Tyler Clippard works a 1-2-3-7. 3-2 Diamondbacks.
Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers, Let's Go Places, and the Georgia Lottery.
Joe Tom and Chip with you from Atlanta. Pretty night for baseball, but Arizona's leading 3-2. Hope you'll spend your Memorial Day weekend with us here at Turner Field. The Marlins and Giants are coming to town. And don't miss the Chipper and Freddie ATV bobblehead on the 28th, and Chris Stapleton in concert after the game on the 29th. Visit Braves.com/tickets today.
I like his hat.
Jason Grilli is coming on. He'll try to keep the Diamondbacks at bay here in the 8th.
He hadn't been out there in a few days. Last time he worked was at Wrigley Field on May 1st.
Was Jason's second save. He's got Wellington Castillo to get things started for the Diamondbacks. He's the man that walked against Bud Norris and scored on the Drury double. He missed outside, ball 1.
He's only given up 1 run in his last 4 outings, and that was that late game home run by Dustin Pedroia that he somehow was fooled and got it up over the Green Monster in Boston.
Good pitch, even count. Mets lead the Padres 4-3 in San Diego tonight. Marlins 3, Phillies 1 in the 8th. The Cubs beat Washington already. And that has you up to date in the Eastern Division. 1-1 pitch. He's off the plate. Ball 2 to the Arizona catcher.
Yeah, it's been a good week for the Cubs. Back to them. 3-game sweep in Pittsburgh. They've won the first 3 of 4 against Washington. Kind of sending a message to 2 very good ball clubs that they're the boss right now.
Popped up. AJ will give chase, but won't have a play, and it's still 2-2. That's upstairs. It's a full count. Don't want to walk him. Spoiled that pitch. It's foul to the right side. Still full.
Yeah, you're right, Chip. No more add-on runs. We talked about that last night and how difficult it becomes for the offense when you're only down a run, then you're down 2, then you're down 4, and how demoralizing it kind of gets as you get to toward the 9th inning. Braves have the top of the order due up in the 8th. Chance to get something started, and down only 1 at this point.
Pitch number 7 for Castillo. Is a beautiful breaking ball, and it absolutely froze him.
Front door breaking ball there.
Good pitch by Jason. Good start to the inning.
Started at the front elbow, and there's your freeze. Can't pull the trigger.
Pitches like that were ones that really helped you in the latter years of your career, weren't they?
Oh, when I, like I talked about with Julio earlier in the game, that keeping guys honest in with my fastball certainly was a big part of it. But when I learned to pitch inside even more with my fastball, but then added my changeup inside, yeah, it opened up a whole new world.
I love the analogy that Rick Peterson used with you, and it was a golfing analogy, right?
Yeah, it was. Tiger Woods has 14 clubs in his bag. He doesn't play with 3 of them. That's what you're doing. I was like, oh, okay.
But was that a hard transition for you to make? I mean, we're all set in our ways, but professionally speaking, you had a style of pitching. Was that a difficult transition to make?
Oh, it was extremely hard. I mean, that was the whole start of Quest Tech and no more pitches off the plate. And, so you got to find a way to get your 17 inches back somehow. So for me, I kind of had to flip how I pitched. I had to pitch inside not only a lot more, but he eventually got me to understand that there are going to be games where you got to pitch in 50% of the time. And for me, that was like, there's no way I'm doing that. But the more I did it, and kind of creeped up where it was a little bit more, and you get more comfortable with it, then you see the value of it. It's like, okay, I get it. But, at that stage of my career, when you're 18 plus years in and used to doing it a certain way, I'm not going to lie and say there wasn't a little bit of, I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that. Well, yeah, I did.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Drury. And Joe, I would imagine from a hitter's standpoint, you're saying, I don't want him to change. He's tough enough to hit pitching the way I know he's going to pitch.
Well, it's in a way, it's I'm sure there were guys that went up to the plate against Tom and go, wait a minute, you don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here on the outer half of the plate knowing that's where everything's going to be. You can't come in here too.
That's dumped into right field by Drury. And a little backspin. He'll stop at first base with a 3-for-4 night tonight. Not a surprise. Last 17 games, Drury hitting about 340. That number is going to go up after another good game. His 4th hit in this series already. And here's Owings. He's grounded out He's sacrificed and he's walked.
You mentioned he's from South Carolina. I can hear a few folks down below us cheering for him every time he comes up.
Little outside, 1 ball, no strikes for Owings.
He might have called it outside, but it wasn't outside. That's a money pitch right there for a pitcher. Down and away.
Yeah, AJ might be chirping about that one, but you wouldn't know it. Never turned around. He learned his lesson last night. Drury is getting a very short lead at first base. And with Grilly's pitch count beginning to climb, the Braves bullpen springs back into action. 1 on, 1 out, 8th inning. He's had a good breaking ball tonight. Bouncing ball toward third. Brignac, nice play to get the lead runner. He charged, got the best hop, and got the second out at second base.
That's not an easy throw to throw back behind you and be accurate, but a nice play by Reed.
And that'll bring up Phil Gosselin. He'll bat for Tyler Clippard. Tyler Clippard, a perfect 7th inning. In relief tonight. There's that pitch again that's awfully tantalizing, but Gosselin got the call. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, he didn't want to call it.
Fox track shows it was a strike. Line drive center field. Mallex Smith will play that on a hop.
Tell you what, these former Braves are tearing it up.
3-hit night for Drury. Ahmed drove in a run last night, and now Phil Gosselin with a pinch hit single. Here is the Arizona shortstop, Nick Ahmed. Should be an interesting matchup. Grilly's had a good breaking ball. Ahmed's had trouble hitting that pitch tonight.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Two balls, no strikes. Fastball. Now it's 2-2.
Ahmed's a tall, long-legged guy with a long stride by most hitters' standards these days, and with a long stride that if you don't get that foot down in time, you're going to be late, and usually an indication of a long swing.
Ahmed's choking up. The pitch is high with Gene Segura lurking on deck. Don't want to face him with the bases loaded.
No, you don't, but it would have been nice to get a decision on that pitch. Now 3-2, runners will be moving.
Pitch number 24 coming from Jason Grilly. Crowd trying to cheer him on. Here it is. It's driven toward right. Markakis on the run at the line. Foul. Reaches up. He's got it. And that retires the side. No runs. 2 hits. 2 left. Top of the order coming up in a 1-run game lead.
This one's too good to pass up. Braves down 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. But Bartolo Colon becoming the 5th oldest to hit a home run off James Shield. Guys, that came off the StatCast at 97 miles an hour. 2-run homer to make it 4-0 in the 2nd. Now watch this. It takes him 30.58 seconds to round the bases. Look at everybody going crazy. That's up there with one of the slowest trots ever. Talk to Big Papi. And I got to say this, guys, as a former teammate of mine with the Angels, I've taken BP with him many times. I would have bet the house, everything I own, that this would have never happened. I got to give him credit, 42 years old. Congratulations, Bartolo. Keep proving people wrong.
And check him out. Nobody in the dugout.
That's good stuff. There they come, though.
That's great.
Well, I'm not so sure if he was purposely running that slow or if that's all he's got. I don't know.
You know what? We need to do a home run trot-o-meter. Bartolo Colon's homer and Tim Hudson's homer a couple of years ago. Remember that one?
Yeah, had some languishing in it.
Man. So Bartolo Colon has hit a home run. As Nick Markakis goes to work against Daniel Hudson. And he swings the first pitch, bounces to Segura at second base. One pitch, one out in the Atlanta eighth.
Hudson was tough here last night, but he gave up a couple of hits. Pitched around him. One of them was to Markakis, the other to Freddie Freeman, but he got a double play to end the inning and not allow any damage.
First game back for Ender Inciarte after a hamstring injury in game 3 of the year. Ender's 0 for 2 with a walk. And Hudson is bringing it. That was 95 miles an hour. Right off his knuckles and fouled off his body. 0-2.
It's not one thing, it's another.
Yep.
Hamstring's feeling good. Now he's going to have a bruise somewhere, I think on his knee. Top of his knee.
Braves have played a lot of close games so far this year. They're 4-8 in games decided by 2 runs or less. And that one's poked toward third. Oh, what a pick by Lamb. And that takes care of Inciarte. Slick fielding play by Jake Lamb to rob Inciarte of a 1-out hit. And now here's Freddie Freeman.
Well, that play a couple of innings ago to end the inning by Ahmed was really pretty behind the bag at second, and now no in between here. You got to charge the ball if you're Lamb, and he was able to handle the short hop and make a good throw.
Well, can Freddie tie it with one swing of the bat in the 8th? We're about to find out. Takes low.
And here's where one of those situations with the shift where Arizona doesn't care if he bunts or not, because he has the ability to tie the game with one swing, and that's why he won't bunt.
That pitch at 96. 2-0 the count. 10 o'clock in Atlanta. Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, Paul Bird, Chip Carey from Turner Field. Arizona leads it 3-2. The go-ahead run came across in the Diamondbacks 6th.
Good pitch, good changeup.
Didn't he do that last night? Got behind 2-0 on somebody, threw a really good changeup. Might have been to Freddie.
Well, how about a walk and an A.J. Pierzynski homer?
That'd be fine. It's not quite a bloop and a blast, but a walk and a homer will work.
Yes, it would.
There's the walk. Straightened him up with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Now Pierzynski will stand in with 2 outs. AJ hit it a country mile last time up straightaway center, and Owings caught it on the warning track.
Castillo went out there to kind of calm his pitcher down because he was mad about the last call. Castillo would be smart to break this up before Sam Holbrook gets out there.
There's been a lot of grumbling on both sides.
It'd be a perfect time for AJ's first homer of the year.
That's out of play to the left side. Strike 1 to the Braves catcher, A.J. Pierzynski. Bouncing ball right side. SEGURA's got it, and that will retire the side. Another man left for the Braves after 8. Arizona with a 1-run lead. All season long, our friends at Delta Airlines will get us from city to city. There's the out-of-town scoreboard going up at new SunTrust Park. We had our tour there yesterday, and boy, the place is looking absolutely great. On time, and as Joe said, just 48 weeks until opening day next year.
Derek Schiller, an excellent tour guide, giving us the lowdown on everything at the ballpark. It's going to be quite a facility. May 10th, season tickets go on sale, and every seat is so close to the field. I couldn't get over how, with the cantilevering, even by Turner Field standards, it seemed like every seat was right on top of the field.
Yeah, with the 90-foot overhang in the upper deck, there will be so much more shade from the Georgia heat and sun. That'll be nice for the paying customers. And again, tickets started as little as $7 per game for A-list members, and almost half the seats can be secured for under $20 a game. So beautiful and a bargain, it appears, at SunTrust Park, and we can't wait to see big crowds there starting in 2017. So Arodys Vizcaino will pitch the ninth. He's got the top of the order coming up for the Diamondbacks. Segura, Lamb, and Goldschmidt. And a base hit up the middle for Segura. That's why getting Ahmed out last inning was so important. Segura's been the highest average hitter for the Diamondbacks, and he's got 2 more hits tonight.
And a .373 on base percentage is going to go up tonight. He's been on base twice and has reached in 14 straight games somehow, some way.
There's a strike to Jake Lamb. In the Atlanta ninth, Brignac, AYBAR, and Castro are coming up.
These guys hit the ball hard, and I mean really hard, 4 times tonight. 2 for 4. Had 2 doubles early in the ball game, but a couple of line outs since. Once to deep right.
As we told you last night, Lamb is from Seattle. And Vizcaino balked.
Yeah, still moving his hands a little bit. It's close.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. Not a pause enough.
Bouncing ball toward second. Good at bat by Lamb. The balk and a productive out puts an insurance run 90 feet away with 1 out, and Paul Goldschmidt coming up.
And everybody in that Snakes dugout congratulating Lamb on a good at bat.
Two strikeouts, 2 walks for Goldschmidt. Infield in for the Braves.
Kinda. Reid Brignac's not buying into that just yet.
I don't blame him.
Nope. Brignac reminds me a little bit of Jim Presley down there.
A little bit.
That's a surprising number for Goldschmidt, as run producer as he has been. You don't let the superstar beat you. I doubt they'll give him much to hit here.
Yeah, but you'd like him to be 3 out of 4 in that category.
Nice stop by A.J. Pierzynski. That saved a run. Where'd that get A.J.?
Off the heel of the glove and roll right up off his chest protector and into Goldschmidt.
So the Braves pitch around Goldschmidt. And they'll set up a double play here with David Peralta coming up. Peralta's had a tough night with a couple of strikeouts. So a single, a balk, a ground out to second. And Goldschmidt walks. Segura's at third base. And here is the Arizona right fielder.
Back foot slider would be a good call here ordinarily on the first pitch because he's such an aggressive first pitch hitter. But with the runner being held at first, he might somehow roll over the top of it and drive in a run by pulling the ball. See where they go. Just a straight slider.
Yeah, it might be a way to get a called strike there, but get a swinging foul ball strike too. As quick as he's been on the inside part of the plate, he pulls something foul.
Best fastball of the night right there. And now he has Peralta set up. He'd love a strikeout here with Castillo waiting on deck.
Yeah, you got to go for the strikeout here. You don't want to risk getting a ground ball and you don't turn a double play or he doesn't hit it hard enough.
And then that was the best fastball of the night.
It's lined into the seats, out of play. Another good block by Pierzynski, but the ball in the dirt allows Goldschmidt to move up 90 feet. Wild pitch. So now we got some trouble. A hit could score 2 runs. Goldschmidt runs well at second base. Peralta's got a 2-2 count. Again, the infield creeps in. And he struck him out. Peralta didn't get a ball that appeared to be in the dirt. He whiffs for a 3rd time tonight. That's a big strikeout for Vizcaino, his first of the game.
Looked like he took a little off that breaking ball, a little slower, a little bit more 12-6.
To that spot too, you talk about a lot, Tom, that back point of home plate. Just died right there.
Castillo's the man that scored the decisive run of this game. Bud Norris walked him to lead off the 6th. He came home on a Drury double. And now he's got runners 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs.
The Diamondbacks, we talked about them at the beginning of the series last night, having a hard time getting hits with runners in scoring position. They're 6th in the league in runs scored, and they hit a ton of homers. But runners in scoring position is a problem, and if teams continue to pitch around Goldschmidt, just as the Braves did, boy, they need Peralta and/or Castillo to pick up the slack. Another nice stop. Boy, AJ's had a good inning.
He's going to need new shin guards. These have been dented by Vizcaino a couple of times. Look at this stop. Inside, ball 2.
They have the worst average in the National League with runners in scoring position at 202, and the third worst with 2 out, which is 179.
Arizona's hottest hitter is the man standing on deck, Brandon Drury, who's got 3 hits. He had the green light and didn't get a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, he was hoping Orioles would throw it where he was swinging.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised they got the green light there, like I said, with Drury swinging it the way he's been swinging it.
Three balls, 1 strike. Bouncing ball towards short. Aybar's got it. Catcher running. Long throw, and it's off target, and a run is in. Castillo with an infield hit, and Arizona extends the lead. It's 4-2.
Deep hole, long throw. Tried to one-hop it over there, but it tailed off the bag, and Freddie couldn't hold it.
So it's Castillo's 3rd RBI of the series. That's a big insurance run for the Diamondbacks. And here is Brandon Drury. 2 doubles, a single in 4 trips. And he couldn't check his swing. It's a strike. Vizcaíno now has given up runs in 3 of his last 4 outings. This is only the 2nd earned run, however, he's allowed in those 4 appearances. After a very shaky April, the Braves bullpen in the month of May had been pitching pretty good ball coming into play tonight. They allowed 4 earned runs in 15 2/3 innings this month, a 2.30 ERA and a 5.10 ERA in the first month of the year. Tonight, Bud Norris, a run in his inning. Hunter Cervenka, Jason Grilli. 2 scoreless frames. But Vizcaíno's been touched for 2 hits and a 4th Arizona run here in the 9th.
This hitting with runners in scoring position for Arizona is kind of hard to understand when they have 8 guys in double figures in RBIs.
Must be driving them in with homers.
Well, they've sure hit plenty of those. 41 to be exact coming into play tonight.
8 guys in double figures. Braves have 1.
Castillo's got 7 homers. Drury's got 6. Goldschmidt's got 6. Lamb and Segura have combined for 7. As this one's popped up towards second. And Castro will make the play on the outfield grass. Big insurance run across for Arizona. Last call for the Braves in the 9th. Diamondbacks lead at 4-2.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by Synovus, the bank of here, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
For to Arizona, we head to the home ninth. Follow Braves baseball live with the MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. Well, let's see if Atlanta can muster a comeback against Brad Ziegler, who's 5 for 5 in saves so far this year.
See those opponent averages, though?
Yep.
Got a good feeling about this. I think the Braves can tie it up.
Reid Brignac leads things off. Reid's had a good night tonight. A couple of hits, and he scored the second Braves run. Again, a frustrating trend for this Braves offense is not many hits after the second or third inning. Braves got a run in the first, a run in the second, but since the beginning of inning number 3, the Braves have a grand total of 2 hits and 2 walks. They've had 4 base runners.
Yeah, miss him.
And a ground ball to second will be the first out of the inning.
After the first 2 innings, been some relatively quick and easy innings for the Diamondbacks pitchers.
Don't forget to stay tuned for Braves Live. That will follow the conclusion of Game 2 of this series. Tim Hudson will be joining Kelsey Wingert out on the set.
You'll probably want to talk about his home run trot.
We got to find out if it was faster than Bartolo's. That's right, America. Bartolo Colon hit a home run tonight. And James Shields is entry number 1 in Bartolo Colon's home run book. No balls at a strike for Aybar, and it's out of play. It's 0-2. Aybar's been hit by a pitch. He's flied out and grounded out. Braves have won 8 straight series against the Diamondbacks in this ballpark dating back to 2008. That's in jeopardy here tonight. If Arizona wins this game, they'll win the series outright, with Patrick Corbin going tomorrow afternoon. And Corbin, by the way, 3 career games against the Braves, 2-0. He has not given up an earned run in 16 2/3 innings of work.
He's been giving up some earned runs to somebody this year. 36 innings, 20 earned runs, a 4.91 ERA, 8 home runs in his 6 starts.
Broken bat. That ball's in and out of the stands.
Use a maple bat, it'd be a good idea not to cork it. Try to cheat. Gonna get caught.
Yeah. Goldschmidt with a diving stop at first. Gorgeous play. Boy, Arizona's young defenders have had themselves quite a night. Lamb at third, Ahmed at short, now Goldschmidt at first.
He's been real good over there tonight. Everybody on the infield's played well for them this evening. Diamondbacks are more or less in the middle of the pack defensively. They've made 20 errors compared to the Braves 25. But they've played 3 more games than the Braves. The fewest errors in all of baseball by any team, the Washington Nationals, who had only 9 going into today's game.
That's out to short. Ahmed's got it. Quick release. And that's your ball game. Ziegler saves it for Shelby Miller, who picks up his first win as an Arizona Diamondback. Brandon Drury had a big game at the plate with 3 hits and an RBI, and the Braves couldn't hold an early 2-0 lead. Diamondbacks win game 2 of the series by a 4-2 final. We'll recap it for you right after this.